Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Distance Dilemma podcast. My name is Shaun. This is Imran, and welcome back to our long distance friendship podcast. This is episode number 11. Imran, how are you? How was your week been?
We have the numbers right this week, so we're
Yeah,
back. We're back to normal. No, it's been good. Bit of a quieter week for me because I wasn't working as much, so I had the weekend off. But yeah, weather's been good, so good mood. But it's funny enough because you were talking about that last week about how people's mood was affected, and like on Friday, I was in work and like everyone was just in good mood. Everyone was just in great form, just like saying can't wait for summer and stuff like that. So yeah, no good, no news. Pretty quiet week for me. How about yourself?
yeah. Not as busy as last week, but busy anyway. Again, over here, the weather is really starting to come out as well. Like there's literally not a cloud in the sky as I look at my window right now. Which is nice. I think it's so funny. I always like come here and like my room, you can always tell whether we're recording at day or night. Whereas like you must have your curtains closed over every time we record. It doesn't like every single
Yeah,
episode
yeah.
look the
It
exact
always
same
look.
for you.
I'm
It
trying to
always looks
create.
like it's been recorded at like 3 a.m.
I'm creating an aesthetic here, lads. It's actually like 11 a.m. here, and it's like so sunny outside. No, the lighting is just terrible in the room. So when I have the light on, like the camera just looks
Okay, yeah, because it's
wild.
coming from
So
behind.
it's coming from behind. Yeah,
I
so
see.
that's
I
where
see.
yeah. Maybe I should have set the table that side, but sure. Look, we move. We move.
Yeah, but actually something we pretty much before every episode that we record, we say we'll record at like 11 a.m. GMT. See, and sorry, 10 a.m. So today we're recording at 10 a.m. GMT, which is Irish time, and CET, which is European time. And every single time we're like, we'll record at 10. CET will record at 9, blah blah blah, and like every single week we don't start recording until like at least probably 10, 15 minutes after that because we're both being like, let me just make a cup of tea. Let me just make a cup of tea. So, have you smuggled over tea, or are you on the Swiss tea?
No, no, no. I smuggled over tea. I will not
Okay.
drink Swiss tea. Like I refuse to. I need some like feel at home,
Yeah.
and it's weird because like I'll have a drop of milk, like I mean like a drop. I
Yeah.
hate when the tea is too milky. It just
Sure.
not for me. Like not for
It needs
me.
to be like almost like red slash brown in
Yeah,
color.
yeah, yeah. Like I mean like the milk is like I'm like you're just going just
Yeah.
in and out,
Sure.
in and out. And then I'll have one spoon of sugar. I tried to get have no sugar past a while, uh, just because like I'm not an avid tea drinker, but I would like a tea maybe once a day. But I think it's because I drink more coffee. I'll have a coffee most days now, and
Yeah.
that's because I'm be super tired in the mornings.
I used to do 2 or 3 sugars in my tea when I was a kid,
Yeah,
and then how I got off it was like I worked. I remember I worked in that garage when we
yeah,
were in school, and so as part of it, you used to get three free teas or coffees every day. So I don't drink coffee. I've never have drank coffee. So I was obviously having tea or hot chocolate. As a 17-year-old, binging
man.
the hot chocolates. But when I would have tea, now I would have two good teaspoons, like two heaped teaspoons going into my tea at the time. But like yourself, when you go to a garage and you get those little sachets, that
Oh,
is
you need to put
not
like
one table.
you need
That
to
is
put
not
like
one teaspoonful of
three.
sugar. You have
You
to.
need to put like
This
three
thing
in.
like I had to put in like I was putting in a good like 3 or 4, sometimes 5 to like just get it to the sweetness that I wanted. But like I think I had put like 5 in a couple of times, and I was like, oh, I don't
I
I
think
don't like people looking at me going, he's putting 5 sugar in his tea, So I like basically every 2 weeks would like I would start only drinking having tea in work for a while, and then like I would just slowly lower the sugar. I'd just take away a sachet
just
at a time.
reduce it every time. Yeah, yeah. That's a good
And now
idea.
like it's crazy now. Like if you gave me tea with sugar in it now, like I could not drink it. Like I and like we just said there, like I like my tea now like super strong. Like I like when I make my tea, I pour it. I go and do something else for 2 or 3 minutes. Let it kind of steep. Let it get really strong. Drop milk, stir the tea bag, and gone. Like literally dribble, and that's how I like my tea.
It's funny how like everyone has their own way of making tea. Like some people like leaving the tea bag. When I used to work in Marks and Spencer's, a lot of people used to leave the tea bag in the
Yeah,
tea
Simone does
while
that.
they're drinking it.
Simone leaves her tea bag in her tea.
Yeah, so they like it like as they're drinking it to get darker. It's
Yeah,
funny, and then like I remember when we were in school and we used to do you know, they did you're like a helper during the leaving cert, so like you bring people to the bathroom, make them sign out, make sure they weren't cheating, all that kind of stuff.
That was
And you
the
had to bring up.
highest money ever, by the way,
Oh,
wasn't it?
everyone was just playing on the. Everyone was playing on the DS. I had a PSP at the time, so I was just playing that and getting paid 600 quid for it.
Easy money.
Easy money. But the one thing I remember is you had to make a big pot of tea for the teacher at the time, and I had who did I have? Mr. Keller, remember him?
Yes.
Remember Mr. Keller? Yeah, I had him, and I was paranoid because I asked him like, "How did you want your tea? Like, did you want me to keep the tea bag in it?" And anything?" And he was just like, "Oh, just make it to your own." I was like, "No, you can't say like when I ask someone, do you want tea? You need to tell me how you have your
How
tea."
you want it? Yeah, no,
It is like
it's a big deal.
yeah, like in Ireland, if you make someone a terrible tea, it is like an abomination to your household.
It reflects poorly on your personality, like you know,
yeah. Genuinely.
Honestly, if you can make a good quality cup of tea, you'd put that on your LinkedIn.
Oh, it's on the CV.
It's
Good
absolutely
tea maker.
on the CV. It's fucking like it's really it's this thing. Sometimes like I'm just like, no, I'll just do it myself. Like, you know, I don't mean like doing that in other people's houses, but like I drink a lot. I drink like I'd say like 4 or 5 cups of tea a day. You know, I'm a big tea drinker. But again, that's because I don't drink coffee, and I don't like. I would drink more tea than that. And I was like, I'd have like a lot of tea, and then like maybe like a Coke or a Coke Zero with my dinner, and then like that'd be it. And then like, I'd probably drink like 2 or 3 bottles of water a day as well.
Yeah.
Depending if I brought it on or how hot it is, like, you know. But you need like I have to start. I have this theory that I have, and we'll kind of get on to more kind of wild theories later. But every time I don't have like, if I go to work in the morning on like an office day and I don't have a cup of tea, it's always a bad day. Like I have to start my day with a cup of tea. It's just like this thing. It's like if I don't have a shower in the morning, like my head will be all over the place. And it's not even that my head will be all over the place with tea. It's just like I've just had it over the last few months where like if I've like woken up slightly late and I've had to rush out the door to go to work, I didn't get time to have a cup of tea that day, and it's not even like through me being like late, or it's like it'll just end up being a day where shit comes up through like all different like mediums, like through work or through like, you know, personal stuff, or through like, you know, family and friends, where stuff comes up, and it's always on days where I don't start my day with a cup of tea. I don't know how to. I know that sounds fucking mad. I know that makes me sound like an absolute looper. It's just
Americans.
Thing that
it's giving me American Psycho boys, you know.
It's giving Americans full stop at the moment.
Yeah. No, I think it's just like a break in routine. I think it's funny because everyone gets up at different times and starts their day is completely different. So like for your example, your first thing you do would go up and have a cup of tea. The first thing I do is go to the bathroom. Like I'll go to the bathroom, then I'll make my bed. Then I'll go in and make coffee. While the coffee's being made, I'll clean up the sitting room from the night before, and then I'll have my coffee. Like we don't tend to clean the apartment the night before we go to bed. We do it always. Well, I'll do it because Nick doesn't work the morning after. Now, like I mean, like it's just because the pillows aren't straight and all that kind of stuff. Like proper adultery when you get your first household kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And then like
making sure the candles are lit and everything.
Yeah.
It's dusted down properly. We done that yesterday. We had like our first like proper big spring clean. Like we've obviously been cleaning and we've had big cleans and stuff, but we done like a spring clean where we're like, right, okay, like I've been throwing stuff out over the last few months, like stuff that like when we moved over we weren't sure if we would or wouldn't need. Like I had so much Tupperware, like you know, lunch boxes and like soup containers, and I was like, oh yeah, like this is stuff that I just like built up from when I used to live with my nana and from when I lived with my mom as well. So like I was like, oh yeah, look, I'll bring it over. And like it was getting to the stage where like we'd now bought more stuff since then as well. Like, you know, we bought more like pots and pans and, you know, like more storage things. It's like, right, okay, I had to go full like Amy Santiago Munkin Smat from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Like, has this been used in the last month? Right, it's going to the bin. If not, then like, you know.
Yeah. You'd be surprised how much that kind of stuff comes in handy. Because like since we've been living here, I've been getting like my mom and Darry to send over stuff. So like it's just like little Irish care packages. Like this week I got a load of crunchies. I got like a weighing scale that I had bought years ago that was in the house. A couple of lunch boxes, a couple of lighters, packets of King Crisps, more tea bags. Like like every kind of couple of months I just get stuff back on that I like need or that are cheaper at home because there's like wild prices here.
Kerrygold.
But a bit of Kerrygold. I mean, it'd probably be a bit melted by the time we got here. But yeah, Kerrygold. Yeah, we actually got Kerrygold. Nicola came back there last week from Romania and she got us. They do these like fry pre-packs now, so it has like everything in it. You pay like 12 quid and it has like
The sausage, the
rashers,
rashers,
bacon,
yeah, the whole
sauce, yeah,
shebang.
yeah, the whole shebang, yeah. But yeah, and had a bit of relish. So had a fry yesterday that was gorgeous.
I'm a bit funny on fries. I think people would look at me and go, "Oh, he likes a fry," but I can be very I prefer a fry from the air fryer. I don't know, I can find fries a bit too heavy sometimes. Like I'd be more of a scrambled eggs and toast sort of guy for breakfast. I wouldn't be super keen on a fry. Now, I think some of that is because when I lived with my nana, she used to make a fry every single Saturday. Like when I used to live with her, and this is like I used to kind of like this where like you knew what you were getting for like Monday we had shepherd's pie, Tuesday it was like spaghetti or risotto or something like that. Wednesday whatever was on special in the butchers. Thursday, depending on time of year, it's either a stew or a salad or a roast dinner. Friday is always fish and chips. Saturday is always a fry, and Sunday was always a roast. So
Yeah,
you pretty much knew what you were getting most days of the week, but every single Saturday was a fry. And I think I kind of just like grew out of it a little
great
bit,
out of
like you
it.
know.
Yeah, for me, like with fries, it's like you need to have it randomly. Like you can't just have it every single week. The last time I had a fry prior was when I was back home at Christmas. So it'd been like nearly 3 months since the last time I had a fry. And that's what I mean. Like I feel like the same thing is just super greasy. I'd be more an eggs kind of person as well. I do like a boiled egg, a fried egg, poached egg, all that kind of stuff.
You know what? I love poached eggs. I think poached eggs are the best type of egg, but they're just
If you
too
time,
much of a hassle to make.
if yeah, you have time, you need
Just
time.
they're not worth the time that you get back. Like this is why like I would usually just fry an egg because it can be done and cleaned up after in like all done in like 5 minutes because you can use a bit of non-stick spray on a non-stick pan and then all you got to do is fry your egg and then wipe the pan after and then you're good to go. Whereas like poached eggs, you got to do the whole water bath, you got to do the vinegar and the salt and the vortex thingy, and it's like, and half the time it doesn't even come out properly. Then as well, you have to do it
No,
again.
it's just a pain in the arse, really. Like it takes super long. You really need time, man. It's like the day off to do it. You won't be doing it like on the way to work. Hold on, let me just wake up at 5 a.m. and make myself a poached egg. Like,
It's about Simone. Simone doesn't like eggs. Simone's got like a thing against eggs. Like I say sometimes she's got a bit of a phobia of them. Like because anything got to do with them, she's just.
and why? Like, what happened to her
It's
at a young age?
I don't know. Maybe her house got egged or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
she's getting chased by chickens in the front garden.
She's always just had a thing with eggs where like if an egg's even touching anything she's had like she won't like I'm making something today. I've got some friends coming over today, and I'm
Right.
making shakshuka. Have you had shakshuka before?
Yeah, lovely. I am.
Incredible. Like and it's such a like grand thing to make. Like it's not super complicated. It's quick and easy. I think it's a good crowd pleaser. But Simone doesn't like eggs, but she loves the sauce from it. So like I'm literally just gonna like give her sauce and bread, and then the rest of us are gonna have like eggs and like and the bread with it as well. Like well, like I'll have to make Simone's in a separate pan. Like because if there's eggs in it, like she won't go near it like at all. Like.
Nicola's a bit like that, where like the only meat she eats is white meat. So like, but if like I love fish, but because since we've started living together, I kind of like haven't eaten fish in a while. Like she will not eat salmon, she will not eat cod, unless it's weird. She won't eat cod, but she'll eat breaded cod because it's breaded, because that's bread,
Fish is
but it has
class,
breadcrumbs on it. Yeah, I love fish. I'm
Fish is.
avid.
I just
I
don't
love
like tuna.
salmon.
Tuna is. I wouldn't be keen on sardines either.
Hit
But
or miss
salmon,
with tuna.
salmon,
Hit or
cod,
miss.
haddock, prawns.
Yeah, yeah.
I love prawns. Oh, prawns are amazing.
But you can butcher prawns as well. I've had a lot of bad prawns.
Yeah,
Especially from the Chinese, like if they don't have it in the right sauce, they don't cook it long enough. You can tell.
Yeah, this is also true.
It's funny this week because we are talking about like theories. Like my topic for this week was before I was telling Sean about is on conspiracy theories. But it's funny because we are talking a lot about people's routines. Like your nana and granddad have the same meals 7 days a week. Simone won't go near anything that has eggs. Like people have like their own superstitious things about things. Like you were saying, like you won't start your day unless you have
A shower and a cup of tea. If
shower and
those
cup of tea.
two things don't happen, like it's guaranteed to be a shit show of a day.
Like I used to have this thing before I played the GA match. Like I used to do this. There's kind of like a dynamic stretching. You probably see footballers in it before a match, where like they jump, like they jump up to do a header, like and just to get their legs moving. I used to do like a double jump before like every match I played since I was like a kid. And even like I know I don't play anymore, but when I used to do it, I still did it before every game. I used to just jump up, do like a double jump with my knees, just get my legs moving. But if I didn't do that before a match, I'd probably be like so superstitious, like, oh, I'm gonna have a bad game or something like that.
Mm.
I think a lot of professionals in like their own thing. You probably do that with. You probably have something to do that with your music. Is there anything you do before a gig?
Um, Not really. No. I can just be a bit anal with like getting set up properly. Like for me, it's more about organization. Like for if I play a venue for the first time, I don't know the setup. Like it's different being in the crowds to being on stage. Like the stage, like knowing the stage setup and how to put together our stage. Like like when we done our gig last week, I'd played in the Hendrick before, so I kind of knew it. But so I was trying my best to help out my drummer Adam and his partner Grace, like to set up all the PAs and stuff. Like I'm not the most efficient with that sort of stuff. To put my hands up and say like I know how to do my setup very well, but like setting up the whole PA, and it's more wire management, so you don't trip over stuff. Now, when you go to a venue, most of the stuff is already set up. Like if you go to like Soundhouse, to Fibbers, blah blah, all this is already done for you. So if I go to a venue where I haven't been on before, I can just be a little bit more kind of like on edge. But I don't have a particular like pre-gig routine. Like I like to take a photo with the guys. Like we like to do just like a quick group photo and be like just to mark the gig. Like and be like, oh okay, like who's on stage with me? Like with Keen, Billy, and Abham. Like I like doing that sort of stuff. But I'm not like I wouldn't even say like my whole like tea and shower thing is it is and it isn't a superstition. Like it's just one of those things that like I think it's more like the shower will wake me up, and the tea will kind of calm me down. Like that's kind of the way it's like I'm looking at it. I don't have like a particular like pre-stage routine. Like I know like some people like to have a couple of drinks or do vocal warm-ups. Like I definitely do vocal warm-ups, but I do them more at home because doing them in a venue, most of the time, most of the venues I'm playing, they don't have a backstage. They have a little corner where you can go and sit, or like if you wanted to go and do a vocal warm up where you can actually hear yourself, you'd have to go into the bathroom, and like you don't want to be going into the bathroom. Some fella's got his schlong there out in a cubicle out on the out having the wads, and you're just going me 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 me. We don't really. It's not the most atmospheric environment for me or the person with his dick in his hand. So.
The poor guy just listens to ABCs as he's peeing.
Yeah, I did it once, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that again. But yeah, like I don't have any like major ones. Like when I used to play football, like did the warm up, of course, and stuff like but
I think it just depends on the person. Like I think everyone has like their own kind of superstitions or traditions of how they do things. Other that is like playing music or playing football or doing stuff. Like I used to have like when I was studying, like I couldn't study if I had like I needed like a highlighter, a pen, I needed like a red pen, and like I wouldn't be like unless I had that in front of me, I would not be able to study. Like my mind would just start wandering. But I think I did that on purpose so that I'd concentrate more. Like this is like during times of like coming up to like the leaving cert and stuff like that. Like we used to visit the study rooms and stuff like that. But like if I didn't have like any of them stuff in front of me, I would just end up staring at the wall and start thinking about dinosaurs or something random. Dinosaurs.
Right, George from the pig.
Yeah. Dinosaurs.
I find like it's something I've like kind of grown into as I've gotten older, and like I was like this before, but especially since we've gotten houses, like I've become, I wouldn't say like OCD, but I've become like I need things organized. Like I need things to like I need you like if someone asks me where something is, like I need to be able to tell you, and if I can't tell you, that's a problem for me. Like
Yeah.
Like the way I have like like before, honestly, one of the like I never thought I'd get so emotional over the purchase of a bookshelf, right? But I have this bookshelf over here behind me. I'll move the camera over for anybody who wants to see on YouTube, if anybody's watching on YouTube. So I have this bookshelf over here, and before I got this was just like a bunch of boxes that were just like sitting around my office, like and when I finally got the bookshelf and like I was able to put things up and display them, like I've got my Thanos glove, I've got my sunglasses, I've got like some CDs and like some music stuff put away and stored in the boxes. Like I got quite emotional, and I don't know why. I was like, I just like that this is tidy, you know. And it's the same
It's
with
like a
the
little
kitchen.
child that you've adopted.
I swear to God, like I never thought I'd like feel so emotional over a bookshelf in my life.
But do you ever feel how like systematic we are? Like even when you get your like when you're in your kitchen and you've got a place for your spoons, your knives, your forks, and if that was like switched around, like the following week, like if I went into your house and I switched around the spoons, do you think your brain would automatically reach? Like if you weren't looking, because you like now I don't even look where the spoons are. Like I just go grab the spoons where they are every week. But like I remember one week when we first moved in together, we didn't have a lot of like utensils or anything like that. So we had like a basic pack that we bought from Amazon, and Nicola had switched around it the week before, and after the third week I kept growing to grab like the fork from where the fork would usually be, and then the spoons were there because Nicola had just moved it. It's just funny how like our brains like systematically like work stuff like in like for example like in my office now, like I know where my books are, I know where my copies are for when I'm doing German and stuff like that. Like I know everything is like organized in a certain way. But it's funny, I'm like that, and then sometimes like at the end of the night when I go into bed and I throw like my jocks and all on the floor, like, and I'll do it in the morning, like I don't give a shit, like, you know what I mean? When you're getting into bed and you're getting your jocks, like you don't give a shit.
For sure. Yeah, it's mad because even like yesterday, like I was saying, we done like our big clean, and like we'd gotten the bedroom like nice and like clean and like organized and tidy wherever, and then like Simone was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go into my office," and like we basically moved something from our bedroom into her office. Like we had this big clothes rack that was like full of clothes that we don't wear daily, like like stuff like shirts and like trousers and like a couple of dresses for Simone, like winter coats and some summer shirts as well, which I'm gonna have to now move into my day-to-day wardrobe, thankfully. But like in the process of that, she also like was like, "Oh, I'm gonna try out some stuff," and then there was some stuff that was like found lying around that she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna throw that in the wash." So like we got the room all nice and clean, but then by the end of it, there was like also just like another big pile of just clothes thrown on the floor that had to go into the wash because they just been sitting there and gathering dust, like
There's always like that one part of the house, like you're just like, oh, don't look at it. It's
Sorry, go on.
You go. You go.
I'm a big believer in. I have like in most of the rooms that like I'm in, like so in the bedroom, in this room, and in the kitchen, you should have like a set part that is meant to be messy, right? And what I mean by that is like yourself, like when you're like at your desk and like you've got little things like post-it notes or maybe like a card, like a birthday card for somebody that like it doesn't have a particular place right now, but it will either in future or it's only going to be in the room for a week or two or something like that. I specifically have like a little basket in this office here where I just throw stuff like that. So like it's stuff where like I'll throw like say I bought a packet of stickers and I used all but two of them. I'll use the other ones at another point. I'll put them into that basket. So that's like it's the messy basket.
Yeah.
In the kitchen, and like the way like the top drawer of the kitchen, most people will always like throw random stuff like the lighters and like utensils that don't get used that often. Like I purposely like have a little basket in there that's for and like batteries and stuff, like like I purposely have it's like right, that's where that goes. So if you're looking for something, that's where it likely is, like if it's not in the other place. I have it like in my like a thing for like in my drawer for like socks as well, like so like I've got my socks that are paired and I've also got a basket for like socks that aren't paired. So like one of them could still be in the wash.
That's super like that, OCD. That is super OCD. That part there is. I was giving you the benefit of the doubt, and then I was like, you have a basket just for it. Now, in fairness, you know what I do? We don't have a basket, but I normally tend to do the washes during the day, and then I'll have to go to work or they're hanging up downstairs. But there's times where like in the spare room, that's like kind of where like our laundry basket is and stuff like that. I'll have like all of them just like scattered out like at the bottom of the bed. So like there'll be just like 3 random socks in there. It's a proper like Monsters Inc. moment, when like your man gets was it 365? When your man has like just the sock on the back of his on the bed. But everywhere I was looking last week, I just couldn't. I had a white and a black one, and it was just pissing me off. Like I couldn't find the other socks because everything was washed. And then it turned out that I had actually added 3 socks together.
Oh.
When I was, which is like, I don't even know how I would have done that. I was probably doing them quickly. I must have grabbed there must have been 2 together, and I must have grabbed 2 and another one and folded it because it was driving me insane. I was looking everywhere in the house for this sock. But But you know that way you were saying about the drawer, your front drawer, like you in your kitchen when you pull it out
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
have all the things that we started collecting. And I was talking to Nicola about this last week. I was like, I don't even know why we're doing it. We keep collecting like napkins from like any takeaways we get. So like, you know when you get McDonald's and they give you like 5 or 6 like tissue
Yeah.
papers we just like been throwing them randomly in here. So we have like 15 different takeaway just napkins in that front drawer. Even though we have kitchen roll in the kitchen. And I said to Nicola like, why have we been doing it? And she was like, she didn't even know why. We just like when we're
It's just
packing
something
up
that
like
just
the take.
started, like,
Yeah, you know when you're like packing up the takeaway after you eat it and it's still in the packaging. Like we were taking the tissue and like obviously taking it and then putting it in the front drawer like where all the utensils are, like the knives and forks and stuff. And I don't know, last week I just opened the drawer and I was like, Nicola, why are we collecting these? Like, why do we have 50 in it? But then we didn't want to throw them away because we had like made a collection of all these like different like tissue papers. I
yeah.
don't know,
that
just
would
random like.
that would stress me out. I'm not gonna lie. That would
I
really
was there,
stress me
I
out.
was color coordinating and everything. I was like, what am I doing? Color coordinating tissues, like.
You have
Jesus
to, like, and
Christ.
then like once you color coordinate them, you have to start like doing them in like alphabetical order of the restaurant, like
Yeah,
so
we
like,
should
as soon as
we
the
should do.
McDonald's logo on it, you'd be like, right, okay, that has to go in the middle somewhere, and then if it's like if the restaurant begins like if it's an Indian place, which probably begins with Z or Y or X or something like that, that's going down the bottom.
I actually wanted to say to you, just because we're on the topic of like OCD and things being perfect, have you seen this? You've definitely seen it. It's like been memed everywhere. Is this like fitness slash like
Oh,
influencer
the
in
gym
America?
fella who's
The
getting up and
morning,
like,
yeah, like like the
yeah.
morning routine. So like he gets like a bowl and he pours like this like expensive water, like 3 like bottles of expensive water into like thing, gets like ice, does like a face wash, like gets a haircut. Like runs around like, but he's recording like every 2 minutes of what he's doing during his day.
Did you
Like,
see them? Have you seen the memes of him jumping in the pool for 4 minutes?
yeah, it's just
Oh,
random.
peak man!
We should do that. We should do like a funny morning routine.
Actually,
It's just us. It's just us like color coordinating our jocks, waiting 15 minutes for a cup of tea.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
and do you ever get like sometimes like you'll be like in bed or whatever, and then like something like that's all over the internet, but like so I got to show Simone that for the first time
Yeah.
because she just hadn't seen it because it was on Twitter originally. Like that's it. This is what I
Oh,
mean. But like I know,
super
look,
funny.
here, I'm not an Elon Musk supporter whatsoever, but Twitter is fucking gas. It's been funny long before he bought it, and it'll be funnier after he gets fucking shot or before he gets emancipated or something like that. Like there's
Cheers.
no, there's no
It's
way.
coming.
It is coming. Like something is gonna happen. That fella, the boys from Ballyfermot are gonna get a hide and put out on him, and you won't be hearing from him then. But like I've always said, like I've been saying this for years. I love Twitter, and that all started on Twitter. So like, and then it started. I always find like those type of memes start on Twitter, where it's like that kind of
Yeah.
ironic, funny. Like somebody's just taking themselves a bit too seriously, and then it'll like migrate over to TikTok, and then about 4 weeks later, you'll get it on Instagram Reels. um, but yeah, it's just I got to show Simone that for the first time. We were in bed last night actually, and so there was a meme that came up. I wanted to send this to you, but I couldn't because you're not on TikTok. And it was the Mick McCarthy thing of him going, "It can."
Oh yeah. He's
It was
gas.
something got to do with like that. I can't remember what the exact meme was, but it was something like that. And Simone was like, "Am I missing something here?" Because
Oh, it just
you
doesn't
know,
get it.
she just didn't
Yeah,
get it. So then you got to show her that, and then I love like getting to share that type of stuff for the first time. It's like wait until you see this. It's so funny.
I just love like because as soon as he put that out, it was just like instantly like people doing like their own version of like their morning routines, and like obviously people were taking the piss with it. But there was like one I saw, and it was just maybe crack up. It was like Kermit the Frog like morning routine, and it was just like super wild, like something I was not expecting to see during my day. You know, like you come across a video and you're like, who the hell even thought of that concept? Like that's hilarious.
Do you know what something we were talking about last night? A video popped up of like top 10 like internet songs, like early 2000s internet songs, and it was stuff like the Duck song and the
Oh,
keyboard cat
banger.
and stuff like that. And I'm like, it's crazy how the internet has evolved from stuff like that to like memes are like a proper lore thing now. Like if you're like I don't know, if like I imagine like it's so confusing if you're like a teenager coming into meme culture now, because like we've really seen meme culture like evolve
It's
over.
funny because I swear I do not remember memes. Like I remember being a kid and like memes just weren't a thing. Like I remember like early 2000s memes just weren't a thing. And because there was no social media, like touchscreens were very like barely only coming into thing. Like I'd say 2006, 2007, 2008, kind of where Facebook, Google kind of started. YouTube was blossoming too. And I remember Dari Finn knows him well. He was like showing me like this photo that he had like his friend had sent him, and it was like it was a proper dad lore memes, like which are still going around, you know, but like they're just not funny. Like they're proper generic, like dad jokes. But like you see now how much it's transformed. Like the meme culture now, it's like everything we say is like some reference to a
Something,
meme
yeah.
or a joke or
I've
and
seen
we've
people
like
like do
grown up in it so much.
theses in college on like the culture of memes and how they've evolved and stuff. Like
Yeah,
I've seen like
definitely
genuine
a
like
thing.
art, like proper theses done out, you know. And it is like it like I don't know. It's just the way kind of pop culture has evolved over the last like 20 years, like you know. And I love it. Like I like it's like TikTok thrives off it. Like I don't think TikTok would be half as big without meme culture. Like you know, because you've just got so
Yeah,
many deep
definitely.
fakes and the whole like AI kind of Reddit subcategory and stuff,
I
like
think
you know,
it's
like
yeah,
do
yeah.
you ever like be watching stuff on TikTok sometimes being like they're literally using the classic tropes, like they're using the AI voice, and they're doing like do you know what wrecks my head actually as well, you know, when like there's like a video and like they're trying to, it's either done by AI but this is done on purpose, or it's done by somebody doing a voiceover, and they're trying to basically like bait you into commenting, and they'll say stuff like instead of automatically they'll say like automagically.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Stuff like
The AI is just like
they'll
not working
purposely
on it.
pronounce words incorrectly to try and get people to comment and go, "Ha ha, that's incorrect," just to engagement farm, just so it pushes. Like that sort of stuff wrecks my head so much. I'm like, just say it properly, like you know.
There's all these videos now of people like saying that if you find the way through the algorithm, you can get like really famous on TikTok. Like if I think if like for example, like we talked about this last week. Like I'm not from a content creator platform or anything. I'd love to do like if there was like a person that you could like get like who has no interest in like social media. Like how long would it take them if they like consistently posted every single day all the trends? How long would it take them to become viral or like get a viral video? Like I would love to see like what kind of space they could go into and to see how
I,
quick or how long it would take them to make a one viral video or like make something pop out.
I think there is an example of that, but not in like virality in terms of the internet. But I would say Carol Pilkington is an example of that
Yeah.
through TV. Because
TV,
Carl
yeah, yeah.
Pilkington has no interest in being famous or anything like that.
Normal bloke,
Like
like
Steven and Ricky kind of just put him up to this shit, and he's become famous off the back of it. Like you know, and even like that, he's not. I don't think he has any social media, or he's not like really in the
I
public
never
eye.
hear about
But
it anymore after the show.
yeah, yeah. So like, I think he's like a good example. But I don't know. Like it's got like because I do this as like a job both for my music and as my like 9 to 5, like you know, and like everyone's talking about all these things, and like the way I always say this to people, it's like there's people out there getting millions of views of them getting dressed in the morning. There's an
Yeah.
Irish guy called Damien Broderick or something like that, and he literally films himself getting dressed, and he's got millions of views, and he
Yeah.
now like that's his full time job.
Yeah,
You
if you
know,
find, I feel that's like I'm saying, like we're all slagging that guy who does the morning routine, but like now that guy is being talked about. He's in the public eye. I cannot go on my phone. I've seen him like every day this week, or like some version about him this week.
mm.
So like I know we're taking the piss out of him, of course, because
No,
it's
well,
funny. But like if you find one niche market that people actually find entertaining on social media, because it's class. Like for example, like you like watching like video. Oh, I can't think of the name of it. Like watching video stories.
video
What's the word I'm
essays,
looking
yeah.
for? Video essays. Sorry, just couldn't think of that. Like there's like I think one thing like that people like watching. Like I'm really into watching people going traveling. Like I love watching the travel videos. Or like there's this guy called the Outdoor Boys where it's just him and his son and they go camping and he has like a farm and stuff like that. Like it's so far off to like what my life is now and I've no interest in it. But I just like watching his videos. So I think it's like very specific. If you can find a market of people that want to watch your content, you're laughing, because like I think the reason why a lot of YouTubers that were big back when we were kids, they just can't make the same content, or they don't want to make the same content that a lot of kids watch now. Like you see now with all the girls like watching all the TikTok dances, like that's big now. I'm not on TikTok, so I miss a lot of the trends. Like
Yeah,
you probably help me
they
out a bit more.
definitely weren't watching Zoella back in the day, you know.
No, like they weren't watching Zoella or like who else? Like
Joe
Carlos,
Sugg.
Cal Freezy, Joe Sugg, PewDiePie, early KSI. I mean, like I know he's still going around, but he's following the new trends. But like, I mean, I don't
Man,
hear.
he's judging on fucking Britain's Got Talent. Like he's not a YouTuber anymore. He's like his own
He's
empire.
He's
Like,
out.
fair play. Like fair play. Like I wouldn't be like.
The grind is mad. Like to
Yeah,
think about it, like
he is like probably like the poster boy for what the internet can do for you, like because he's literally gone and done everything. Like he started off as like a Call of Duty YouTuber, he done the FIFA thing. He's now gone out and done boxing. He's got his own businesses. He's now on like arguably one of the biggest daytime shows in the UK, Ireland. Like you know, and like yeah, he's huge. Like I think he's like the poster boy for like you know working hard and getting stuff out of it, like you know, like while I'm not particularly like, I used
you
to
don't
watch
watch
him
him
back
anymore.
in the day.
Yeah.
I don't watch him anymore, but like you have to like just tip your hat to him, and be like fair play, like you've done the hard hours, like you know.
I've kind of grown out of watching that kind of style of content, like
Yeah.
getting away from like watching the Sidemen and like Beta Squad is another one. I think is another one. AMP, all these like. They're kind of like their content is very much at the younger age, and now they've kind of tried to grow this like whole like adultery side as well. But I feel like I feel like you just kind of grow out of watching the YouTubers that you watch. I mean, I still subscribe to them because I like to see the content that they're still making, just for like a personal view because I grew up watching them. But like I think like even my mates have talked about this before. We're all like kind of growing into like watching new contents that we want to watch. But I think that all adapts through time. Like I guarantee when we're in our 40s, we'll still be watching different content. I think I'll always be watching YouTube. I grew up with YouTube. I've always been a huge fan of YouTube. Like I always see this joke now. It's like as you get older and you really find it harder to find a food, to find a video while you're eating food. Like I cannot watch a video. Like if I'm eating, it's so sad. Like if I'm at home alone, like I cannot just eat without like backroom noise or like something on the telly or a YouTube video or it's gas.
I can't wipe my arse with the podcast going on in the background.
Imran's voice in your ear, like.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like I would do that as well. And Simone thinks I'm like autistic central for this, but like because like when we're watching, well, like what we'll do is typically like when Simone gets in from work, I'll usually have had the dinner made, like you know, so Grandma will sit down. And that's when we'll stick on like daytime TV. Like that's when we'll stick on like Virgin Media, RTE, Comedy Central, BBC, whatever. Like you know, and there's nothing ever on at that hour. Like that's the time where people are commuting to and from their jobs, and it's just shit TV. So there's two options at that hour: Chase or Friends. And I'd seen all of Friends when I was a teenager. Never mind now. I've seen it all through like 4 or 5 times. Not even trying to not even like binging it or sitting it. Just from it being on in the background, like you know,
Yeah.
So we're kind of sick of Friends, so it's like right, okay, but then we'll watch The Chase like 4 or 5 times in the week, and I don't get sick of it, but I understand Simone will be like, right, I've had enough of The Chase for this week, like you know, but I like we'll be watching our shows, but I don't like to watch like our serious show while I'm eating because I want to concentrate on it, so we're watching Dexter still, we're on the last season of Dexter now, and like I don't particularly like putting that on while I'm eating because when I'm eating I'm like concentrating on not spilling food on myself and not getting a cut on my beard and stuff like that, so I'm not fully invested in the show. Whereas like if I'm watching a serious show like that, or we're starting to watch The Last of Us now as well, and like I think like that's a bit more of a serious show where like an adolescence and stuff, like I wouldn't want to eat while watching it because I just want to be fully invested in what's going on, like you know, because I think like you know me and you are very into the whole art of everything. You know, the art of filmmaking, the art of music, the art. So if I'm like consuming something, like it's different with friends and stuff, like you know, because like I'm not particularly worried. You know, sometimes if I am sitting there watching it and I have nothing at me, I will be like, oh, that was a cool shot, or I'll like make a note in my head of how they did something with the camera angles, or like how the set design was, or something like that. But it's not something that like is integral to the plot of it, like you know.
It's so funny that you said that because like me and Nicola have like the go-to shows for when we're eating. Like we will not watch anything quote unquote serious or something that we want to indulge our time in. So like we like for like remember last year I was saying like we started watching Game of Thrones. Like we would not eat and watch Game of Thrones because we didn't want to miss anything.
Exactly.
And then so like for us we have probably two shows you don't like, but we have How I Met Your Mother and The Office. They're like our two goes to. But then recently we've been getting sick of both watching them. So like I've been trying to say, okay, let's watch maybe a YouTube video. Then we'll watch a YouTube video. But the problem is, it's like I cannot like watch something serious while I'm eating because I'm so conscious of like my whole awareness around me. Again, like because where our coffee table is, we have like a rug underneath it, and it's like bright brown. So like we're afraid like if anything falls, it's just gonna damage it. So I'm constantly like looking at the food. So like I don't want to be. I can't like me and Nicola. I think probably have like one sit down dinner a week, and it tends to be on a Saturday because I normally off on a Saturday or Friday or Saturday. One normally off 1 to 2 days, and we have a sit down there. But every other day it's like we're sitting at the table together, or we're sitting at the like living room table together, like eating. But I'm always like conscious of like, that was a nice, that was funny, haha. But like I'm not gonna like be like, hold on, let me just sit back and watch this because I've seen it like 15 times.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like all these shows I've seen 15 times.
Is Nicola on the same page with you as this? Like
yeah, like this is like a known thing. My biggest problem right now is so there's loads of films on Letterboxd, of course. We don't plug that enough. Me and Sean are big on Letterboxd, but I have like a huge list now of I'd say like 30 films. I've kind of gone back and changed and make sure I'm keeping up to date with films I haven't seen because like I want to make sure that I'm watching all, you know, the 50 films you need to watch before you die. So you're caught up in like the film, the TV culture, and everything like that. So like there's a couple on the list I haven't seen. But last night, for example, we were on a walk and we came back and we're like, right, we're gonna watch a movie and we're talking about what we're gonna watch on the walk. And we really want to watch Manchester by the Sea. We've been talking about that for ages. Yeah, but the problem is now I've got Nicola. Yeah, it's on Netflix, and the problem is I've got Nicola checking Rotten Tomatoes now because I used to do that for the Marvel movies. I would like after I'd go to watch the movie, I'd want to see what like the public's perception or like the Rotten Tomatoes perception was of the movie. But now every time we go to watch a movie, Nicola will check it, and if it's not in like the 80s or like the 90s, Nicola's like meh. But like we'll get home and then the first thing like I'll be like, how about we watch this movie? I haven't seen it. Nick's like, hold on, let me just check Rotten Tomatoes. Like, can we just watch the movie? Can we just sit down and watch the movie? Because I feel like now we're trying to like we're asking other people's perceptions before we even watch the movie. Like I'd rather waste my time and watch a 3-hour movie because I've done it so many times. It makes no difference to me. I watched a 3-hour movie that was terrible. You know what I mean?
But it's more just to say you've like it was the same reason I finished The Sopranos. I hated The Sopranos from season 1. I was like, I don't really like. Hate's a very strong word, right? I hated it from the moment the show finished. I hated it because I fucking hated the ending. I thought the ending was such a spit in the face. But I was like watching it and I was like, I don't really love this. I don't really.
It's
like,
either your thing, I think.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, I'm just gonna keep going because everyone says it's amazing. So I'm like, it must have like an incredible final season or some big payoff that makes all this stupid filler worth it. Like, you know, it's gas because like the most interesting part of The Sopranos is like the family drama, and it's not the gangster stuff. Like the gangster stuff is nothing you haven't seen in Goodfellas.
It's the characters around what's happening. Yeah, I need to go back and finish it.
Yeah, like you know, I won't obviously spoil it for people who haven't seen it, but like it's one of the shows that I'm like I don't understand. Like Game of Thrones, I didn't love Game of Thrones, but I get why people like it. Like Simone loves it, and you guys were into it as well. Like I get why. It's just not for me. Whereas The Sopranos is like, I just don't know how anybody like sees the ending and isn't like insulted by it. Like, you know, I hate it that much. Like, you know,
I think you're not the only person. I mean, I think we talked about this prior on previous podcasts, but I think you're not the only person that was disappointed by the ending. But I feel like the gangster core is just not your type of viewing. And the only reason is because there's a guy in work and he is obsessed with The Sopranos. And he's the same, like, hates the ending, was very disappointed, like, kind of ruined the whole show for him. But his thing is he loves gangster movies, like, that's his thing. Like, he loves watching Casino, The Godfather, Scarface, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's his, like, core of movies. And it's funny because like when I think of you, I would never think, oh, Finn would want to watch a gangster movie. You know, like I'd never, if me and you were together, I'd never be like, oh, let's watch a gangster movie. I mean, you'd probably watch it if I wanted to watch it just for the sake of it, and if it was
Like
like a
I like
blockbuster movie.
Goodfellas. I don't mind.
Yeah, yeah,
I do
you're
think
kind of
Godfather.
open. Like,
Yeah, I'm open to watching that. And like the only type of film that I'm really not into is westerns. I don't like westerns at all. And then like I'm not super keen on horror films. And that's not because like, oh, I don't want to get a jump scare, I don't want to be scared. Like I don't like horror films that are like just jump scares for the sake of jump scares. Like I love a good thriller. I love films like Prisoners, I love Get Out, I love Saw,
psychological
stuff like that fucks with your head.
yeah,
They're
psychological
like,
thrillers. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Like I remember me and you went to see Get Out with the boys in school, and like I loved it. Like I thought that was like that's like I'm like this is how a horror film should be. Like it actually gets into your head and fucks with your head a little bit. Like you know, like I wouldn't like I don't like Paranormal Activity because I kind of just feel like it's just for the sake of
yeah.
like that's it. Like,
Do you remember when we went to see Get Out? I don't know if you remember this. So we went to see Get Out the first like 2 to 3 days that it was released with the lads, and we left it like super late to buy tickets. Like we all arrived up late,
yes.
And me and Finn and I think it was Mango. I could be wrong. But the only seats left were like right at the front, right? Like right at the very front. And the whole time we were all like this. If for anyone that's not on YouTube you can't see this, but like basically our necks were like on the back of the chair looking up the whole time. And I said to Finn, and I never buy premium in Odeon for the seats. Like I've never done it. And I said to Finn, let's go buy premium. I just can't do this. Because there's the whole gap. The whole cinema was packed and there was a one little gap. And I remember we had to pay like, I think it was like £6 extra or something like that. So me and you and Mango ran out and bought premium just so that we didn't have to be like this the whole time.
Yeah, and
we actually missed a part of the movie as well doing that.
Yeah, so you and Mango went back into the screen and I said, I'll follow you in, but like I wasn't thinking that it was going to be pitch black and I wasn't going to be able to see it, and the screen was full as well. So it's not even like, oh, I can see like a cluster of you guys. And I think I missed the first 5 minutes of the film because we went out and did that. And I walked back in and I was like walking up and down the aisle and I ended up getting my phone torch out trying to like see like the numbers, and you guys were basically on like the left side of the theater and I was on the right, so I was walking up and down and wrecking these people's head with my torch, just being like, yeah, I'm looking for G blah blah blah, but like I couldn't see the seat numbers as well because people were sitting in those seats.
No. Yeah,
so I couldn't tell I was on the right, I couldn't tell I was on the wrong side. And then one of the ushers came up to me and was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm looking for that seat. And then basically a scene, because the movie, the scene that it was on was a dark scene, like it was at night with not a lot of light, and then like it cut to a scene where like it was like daytime, so the whole room like lit up, and like I just see you and Mango just there like that, just giving the big wave, and I was like, oh fuck me.
You probably agree with me on this as well, like, and it's so annoying. Like, so a lot of time when I'm about to watch a movie, and like say it's a movie that I'm really wanted to see, I'll like try to finish all my snacks in like the trailers or like the first 5 minutes of the movie, so I can just lock in then and sit down and watch the movie. But this happened like a couple of weeks ago. Me and Nicola went to the cinema, and I really badly needed to pay. Like I really badly, but I will refuse. I will refuse to miss any minutes of a movie. I just have this. Like I paid to be there. Like I'm gonna watch it. I need to see every single shot, every single cinematic a place within the movie. It's a blessing in disguise because you don't miss anything. But I don't get how people like go to the cinema and be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go to the jocks now.
Yeah, no, that's blasphemous. Now I will admit it was a struggle during Infinity War and Endgame, especially Infinity War. Infinity War, I was bouncing around the seat waiting for that post-credit scene. Like I was like jumping around the place, like, you know, because I was dying to go. But I've kind of adopted this thing where like if I know I'm going to the cinema, like I'll just be very conscious of like what I'm drinking and when I'm drinking it.
Same.
It's like
same.
I won't have the 5 cups of tea that day. I'll probably stop at about 2. If I'm going to the cinema at like 6 or 7, I'll stop drinking as many like, you know, cups of tea, or like I won't maybe like have that bottle of water or whatever. And then like once I'm in the cinema, I'll have a drink with me then, because by the time that gets through you, it'll be probably the films. The film will probably be over, because most films are like what, 90 minutes to 2 hours, like, you know.
Minimizing your plan here. It's like a pre-game ritual. Like you know what you're going into. There we go.
You know? Circling back on that. There we go.
There we go. All tying in together, folks. I wanted to bring up my topic for this week.
Oh God.
So before we started the podcast, I said to Finn I want to talk because actually thought this week it was Finn's turn to talk about the topic, but I actually forgot the week before prior it was his turn, so it's my turn this week. So I want to talk about conspiracy theories because the lads wouldn't stop bothering me, being like, "Please talk about conspiracies on the podcast. Please talk about conspiracy theories on the podcast." Like I heard like from
All
like
our
four different
fans.
lads, all our fans, And I told Finn I didn't want to hear basic conspiracy theories. I didn't want to hear the generic ones about pyramids, 9/11, JFK, blah 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 blah, because it's been talked about. It's been talked about way many times, and I'd like the
We want to go
viewers.
super niche. We want to go like Larry Murphy.
Yeah, Larry Murphy or something like that. So I'd like you, Finn, to go first, and I'd like to hear your conspiracy theory for this week.
Okay, there's only one. I wouldn't even say this is like super, like, bad or anything like that. The only one that I would kind of believe in is like I do believe there's aliens out there. In the
Yeah, I mean,
like, I don't mean
still,
on Earth. I mean like out there in the world. Like I think there's just like there's no way we're the only species with intelligent life
no,
out there. I don't
no,
know if they're a threat. I would be a believer that on some other, like I say, aliens, like it's just life on other planets. There's no way that there isn't life on other planets. I would probably say there is some form of life in our solar system other than us, but it depends on. It's probably not going to be down in like Saturn and stuff because it's probably way too cold for it to grow there or anything like that. And then it's probably for like Mercury, it's probably way too hot for stuff to naturally grow there because like that's why we are here because we're kind of in that perfect middle ground of like, so I reckon if there was life on Mars, we probably would have discovered it by now because like they've
yeah,
been doing missions to Mars since like 70s or 80s. Not Ireland, obviously. Micheál Martin commissioning a little space trooper to go down and march the Irish flag and treat it like it's the fucking GPO in 1916, But I do think out there in the universe there has to be
I
another
completely
form
agree with you.
of intelligent life form, I wouldn't be a believer in like parallel universes, stuff like
And
that.
that was another question I was going to ask you. What was your perspective on like the there could be a different you out there in a different time zone, parallel universes. I mean, like quantum physics, it doesn't back it up. Like there's no way that it is possible. In my opinion, but I mean, like you never know because there's so many galaxies and solar systems that we haven't explored that we don't even know about.
The reason I would be reluctant to believe in anything like that is the actual chances of of me being me and you being you are so slim. To get a
We're
bit,
one of a kind, baby.
but like to get a little bit nasty for a second, like the
Oh.
likelihood of us being those little pieces of sperm that latched onto that egg is like 1,000,000 to 1 or something like that. It's so fucking unlikely. So
No,
I just feel like
it's
if you're gonna talk about alternate parallel universes and all this sort of stuff, the likelihood of that happening again is even more unlikely.
you
It's like
fall
when
in.
people, it's like when people say it's like, oh, if you what's if a bird shits on you, it's good luck. I'm like, that is the opposite of good luck. One, you've just got shat on, but two, it's so unlikely that a bird is gonna be out in the sky, shit on you, and then that's something that's super unlikely to happen. And you think something that is even more unlikely or still unlikely, like winning the lotto, was gonna happen to you. That sort of stuff. I'm like, cop on. Just think
This is
relax here for a
super
second.
funny what you said there because that actually adds me on to my conspiracy theory.
Okay, yeah, right. Imran likes bird shit. Let's go.
No. I'll let you continue. I'll say it after, but just remember that for later on for each box. I agree with you though. There's no way that we're the only species. There's no way. And it's funny because I wonder to them, are we like daytime TV? Or like, I wonder are they like sitting down? Is there like an alien right now sitting down to watch this podcast and some like other intergalactic spaceship that you can't see up in space?
He's just chilling watching the chase.
Yeah.
You know.
Chilling watching the Distance Dilemma podcast.
There we go.
There we go.
The only like I might get in trouble for saying this one. This is something that could like divide opinions.
Cancel culture.
Cancel culture. Let's go. I am a big atheist. I don't believe in any sort of god or anything like that, and I think like religion in any form is a bit of a cult. If you want to believe in that for peace of mind, and if that's what helps you go to sleep at night, okay, fine, fair enough. But if you think about it for more than 5 minutes and actually believe it, I think you just need to give your head a bit of a wobble, like, you know.
Can you explain why?
There's just no proof. There's no proof whatsoever out there that any sort of God exists. There's no proof that Jesus was ever here. There's no proof that, like, we were raised Catholic. You were as well, weren't you?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
Catholic,
like,
Protestant Catholic.
I just don't. I do not believe in any of it. Like, I just like, you know, and like I hear people say they're agnostic. It's like everyone, because like, do you know what agnostic is? Yeah,
Yeah.
for not to mansplain, but for anybody
Okay.
out there that doesn't know what agnostic means, is you're kind of halfway between believing and not believing. So you're not quite a believer. You're not quite as like atheist as maybe like I would be. Like, I'm like, it doesn't exist. Give your head a wobble. Stop being silly. Agnostic is like that bit in the middle where you're like, oh well, like, you know, if I saw some proof, I would believe in it. I'm like, of course, if you saw some proof, you believe in it. Like, of course, if if a God just like whacked into my room right now, being like, you're wrong. Here I am. What's up? Yeah, of
Well
course
gone,
I would
brother.
fucking believe it. Like, everyone's agnostic in that
Yeah,
perspective. Like, you know,
yeah.
I would just be a big non-believer in that sort of stuff. Like, you know, the only thing I would believe in is like karma. I think if you do good, good things will happen to you. I think if you do bad, bad things will
I
happen to
think
you.
that's more on a humanitarian thing rather than a
Yeah,
religious
yeah,
aspect, though. Like I've kind of been around people, kind of as they get older, who are more religious, just in work environments and friend groups and stuff like that. And it's funny because I feel like with religion, it's really dependent on yourself and like the family you're brought up in and your own beliefs and stuff like that. Like, I'm very much the same as you. I'll be very much like, you know, do good, be respectful to other people, be respectful to other cultures. And I want to have Sean's back here. Like, don't try cancel him because he said he doesn't believe in religion. I also don't have the biggest relationship with religion myself. And I will class myself as an atheist. The reason is because there's no physical proof, and I do find like it is a bit like Chinese whispers. I mean,
yeah.
am I wrong? No, not really. Again, I don't discourage anyone to, if that's your thing, if that's your belief, that's your provision. I understand completely.
I
But
love
I
how
mean,
you've
at
just
the
gone
end,
into damage control mode right now.
yeah, yeah. I mean, let's not try to get cancelled already. We haven't even reached 100 followers on Instagram, so let's put that out
Yeah,
there.
like I said, what I
No.
said in there as well. If it makes you sleep easier at night, if you believe in it and like it helps you go to sleep at night, fine. But I don't think, like, you know, I've seen this as well. Something I agree with is like, I don't think you should do good or do bad because you believe. You know, it's like, I think you should do right because you feel it's right, not because you think it's going to get you a place in heaven or a
Yeah,
place
yeah.
with Allah or
It,
whatever like that. And like, listen, like, my own stepdad is Muslim, and like he does the whole Ramadan thing, and he, like, you know, he follows it, like, you know, quite strictly, and like that's fine. Like, I've no problem with that. And like, it was something I was really worried about, like when my mom died. That I was like, oh, because like my nana was like, oh, we want to do a Catholic ceremony. I was like, can we please do humanistic? Because everything that I've done, my auntie had a wedding that was humanistic. I've been to one or two humanistic funerals as well, and they're so much better. Like,
I
it's
feel
just
like it's more on connection and
it's more
relationships
about
rather
the,
than
like,
being focused. Because like we've talked about that before, myself and Nicola, about when we do want to get married, we want to talk about what way we want to go around it. Because she's very agnostic. Sorry, I
she's
can't pronounce that.
I
Agnostic. She's very agnostic, and I would be very much on the atheist side. So that will be a discussion that we'll have down the line. But I feel like I get what you're saying. It's more for me. It's like if you should just respect people for having their own views. Like, so if
yeah.
you want to, if I have a friend who is upon that religion, I respect their own views of that. But I mean, like, when it comes to, I don't like when it's like shoved down your face.
Yeah,
That's
for
my
sure.
problem. It's like, because I have my own view, I can't think you have to force your view upon me. I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah, similar to
But
what we were talking about last week. Like, everyone can have their own opinions and stuff. Like, you know, just
be
like,
respectful.
for me, I don't. And yeah, it just that'd be the like that'd be the one thing I'd be like fairly like shut down. Like, no, I don't believe in that. And you cannot convince me otherwise. Because there's also that, I think it's a quote from Ricky Gervais of like, if you burned every religious book and you got rid of every religious text, it would come back in 1,000 years written totally differently. Whereas if you'd done the
Yeah,
same thing with, like, with science books and stuff, they would all come back the exact same because science is always the same.
yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not a Scientologist, by the way. I'm just
Yeah, he's
saying,
giving
like,
Tom Cruise over here, like.
it just like I'll follow. I'm a very black and white person anyway. Like I'd like to see a situation as it is and be like, right, okay, I don't have any reason to believe in it. Like like yeah, that's it. I'll let you move on to your conspiracy theory because
my conspiracy theory is, and it's a bit of a funny one because like I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I always say it to Nicola, I genuinely think that pigeons aren't real, and the reason was I think pigeons were sent out by the Americans after the Second World War to spy on their own citizens, and you cannot tell me it's wrong. Tell me you've ever seen a baby pigeon. Have you ever seen a baby pigeon?
Yeah, we have some.
No, you haven't. No, go on, show me. Go grab a baby pigeon.
I'll just bring the laptop and all. Yeah, come on. There's a pigeon loft outside.
Yeah, the robots one. The robots.
The robots.
It's funny because he was saying about
I've seen me and Simone have both personally seen Simone kill one or two. I can guarantee there was blood in there. There was no wires.
No, but like listen, for a while they said this theory was like you always see birds on a line, so like it was like that was the bird recharging itself. When you now listen when you accidentally get pooed on, that's them putting a tracking device on you when you wipe it off.
Fuck
right
off.
Listen, right, just listen, yeah. And then every time a bird is like vanished or delinquent, there's always a new set of birds. I've never seen a lackluster of numbers of birds. Now I'm not just talking about pigeons is just the first one I did, but I actually genuinely think there's birds out there that were being tracked because like the Chinese have actually came out and said this, that they were using these digitalized birds that to spy on their citizens. Like this is an actual thing. I'm not even, like I can pull up facts here. Like
I know the Chinese do that. I studied a bit of that in college. Of like how they do it.
So like, you can agree with me a little bit.
I feel like this gets blown out of proportion way too much about how China manage society. Like the Chinese like don't like militarize and have things like down to the T like like that. Like I just think
it's like 100,000 pigeons in a line.
That's Imran, I'm not gonna lie to you, that's fucking wild.
That's what I wanted though. I wanted something that was wild off topic. Like this is not something I 100% I believe in. Of course I don't think that all pigeons are a thing. I was more on the topic of birds is what I'm trying to say. Like because this is the actual thing. Like Americans, I think there's like definitely files about Americans wanting to track their citizens through birds. Because like it means it would make sense. There's so many birds you would never question looking up being like, oh, that's just a normal bird, like, you know what I mean? Just a normal pigeon. Especially the thing about pigeons is they have a 360 peripheral view as well, which also creeped me out a little bit as well. The fact that you're able to see in the front and back of you. And that would make perfect sense if you were like a low-flying pigeon across your own city, being able to see it. I know I sound wild and crazy, but that's what I wanted. You went to Alien, which is another generic one, like...
Yeah, because I'm not nuts.
Well, I'm nuts. It's all good. But
I don't know. That's a bit. That is a conspiracy theory of conspiracy.
That's why I wanted a conspiracy. I wanted a conspiracy. I wanted everyone watching this or whoever does not tune into it. I want everyone's like weirdest conspiracy theories. I don't want to hear about like 9/11, JFK, the pyramids because they're all basic. I've heard them so unrelated. Another one as well I'd like to talk about is how we haven't discovered like under the water. That's another interesting one. Like we haven't gone down below 30% of the under the sea level. Like what's underneath that? Do you reckon it's just like another just deeper down? Just more water down there.
I reckon there's more species of life that we haven't discovered. Yeah. Because like they'll be like on the surface of the earth down there, like, you know.
But imagine there was a whole colony down there, like of another species that we don't know about. Like it's kind of close into like the Aquaman whole like, you know, area. I can't think of what's that called. You know what the
Atlantis.
Is Atlantis. So it's like that cold like existence of life down there. Now I don't think they're humans walking, breathing underwater. No, I don't agree with that. But it could be a different species that we don't know about. People also think that aliens are actually under the water too.
That wouldn't make them aliens. That would just make them fish.
No, if you can't. What? So what? All no. But I'm trying to say, like, have you seen some of these fish? They do not look like. No, but think about it, right? If we've discovered more stuff about space than we have about under the water, how's not to say that what's under the water aren't aliens? You can't just call them what you're just gonna. I know you're thinking it's very black and white. You're generically just gonna call them fish, but like there's definitely species we don't understand that are under down there. Who's
Yeah,
not
no,
to
for
say that
sure,
they
for
aren't
sure. Like,
aliens living
I definitely
underwater?
think there's a couple of probably maybe 100 or so species that we haven't discovered because we can't go down that far. But I don't know if I would say like if it was an alien, aliens would have to be like off planet. Surely, I think that would be like how you describe
Yeah, of course, that's how you would describe them. But
like
like,
like like I would say like intelligent life on other planets or
what
something.
about
Like
like
that's
octopuses? You know about octopuses? About they have like one of the hugest,
they taste
largest
good. That's
brains.
all I know.
Oh, they taste good. Yeah,
They taste good.
yeah. No, but they have a very large brain, so they think that their intelligence levels are a lot higher from all the other fish. Me and Nicola talked about it. Nicola's a big believer that she thinks that octopuses are aliens. Like we've talked about this before. Like they're like on land aliens. Which I mean, like you don't know. You don't know.
The Simpsons, man.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think she's ever watched The Simpsons in her life as well. This is a funny thing.
Honestly, she's better off.
Yeah, way too many seasons to be honest. Yeah, conspiracy theories is always a wild one because it generally it's no beliefs. It's just random people with their random views and perspectives. Like, but there is serious cases. Like everyone thinks that 9/11 was an inside job. Like it's kind of like a known thing. But like, but no one's ever gonna find out if that is the truth unless the files are released. You know what I mean? Because there is obviously documents on these situations, like these world events that have happened. Like, there's no way Area 51 is just there chilling for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, just chilling. Like, it's just a plan. But now they're talking. Yeah, just chill guy. Now they're thinking about blowing it up though. You reading some article about that last week. They're thinking about completely just vanishing the whole area and then restarting in a whole different complex.
Just invincible.
Because they think, invincible. Because that episode's sick. But think if too many people are trying to like get onto to land and find out more information. You know these people that are obsessed with like alien hunting and stuff like that, or UFO sightings and blah 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 blah.
I think it's so funny whenever you watch like if you watch shit like that. It's always like they go and they do this like big hour-long hunt and blah blah, and then it'll always like finish with like a title card of being like. And they never fucking found out. So just
no shit.
Time. It's like to be continued. And then the next one's like, so we actually didn't finish our research because we ran out of money for this project. The budget went a bit over.
Yeah. No, I think that thing about conspiracy theories, it's like everyone is like just wild with their opinions on different perspectives. Because like you definitely think some of them.
I must
think
be one of the few people that don't think Bush did 9/11. I don't think that was the case at all.
I don't think. You generally think it was a terrorist attack?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make sense for it not to be a terrorist. It doesn't make sense for it to be a terrorist attack. Explain how you think it's the terrorist attack.
I don't think it makes any sense whatsoever for the Americans to nuke the two of their own, like what was one of probably in their top 5 biggest landmarks at the time, where there was a lot of quite literally world trade going along. Like it was detrimental to the U.S. economy at the time. It was the biggest thing to happen to the world since World War II. But But
the Americans made it a bigger thing. Like there's been more attacks, more earthquakes in different countries, and nothing gets said. Like there's been instances where
America blows.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's in the Western news is controlled.
This is it. Like everything is it's that phrase. Everything is bigger in America. The people, the news, the TV, the films, budgets, blah, blah, everything is bigger. So when something like that happens, because America is like kind of the I wouldn't say but like it's the kind of ideology of the Western world. Like I think it really I think especially for folks who aren't from the Western world, and I say the Western world is in like the US, most of mainland Europe, the UK, us, societies that aren't for the most part struggling, or we're not relying on what I mean, like when you go and you see like these places in Africa that are struggling to get water for the village and stuff, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about towns, cities. We have tellies in our houses, all that sort of carry on. I class that as the Western world, and I think for anybody who's not in that, they're not gonna, because like America have such a grasp on that world because of film and TV media. Like, because like 9/11 is referenced in so many things. Like if there was a sitcom that was going on in New York at the time,
Every time.
it
There's
happened with Friends. It
always.
happened with The Sopranos as well. There used to be a shot of the Twin Towers in The Sopranos opening sequence, and then
Literally.
it was removed after it happened. Like, stuff like that. Like, it's because, like I said, because it's America, it's always going to be bigger. Like,
Yeah. I mean, look, again, agree to disagree, but I think there was so much going on at the time as well. There's always. Did you ever read these things about that happened in America? There's always major world instances after someone is getting publicly shamed within the United States, and it's always during a political president. Like that was at the time as well, where Bush was being accused of
adultery.
Having adultery. So there's always times it just doesn't coexist in a time where something's happening in the States and something happens on the news to distract the view on the thing. Because it's funny, like it's gas because we joke a lot about we get a lot of our news and information from Western media, but our generation gets a lot of our information from memes. Like a lot of the time now, anytime there's like Trump rallies or anything with Elon Musk about robotics or NASA, it's always done in such a joke form. And I think like the younger generation like do not listen to Western media as much as we all used to do. Now I think there is some, yourself, the Sun, all these shit tabloids, they just stupid news and no one gives a shit about. Like it's so hard to find reckonable newspapers unless you've got like the Irish Times, the Irish Examiner, and I can't think of a few. There's a few more. The Independent. It's funny like how different people perceive news. Like, you've got like proper right wing and left wing. I know we're going way off topic right now, but
yeah, I don't
you
know
get my
You
point.
can tell, but we have the Zoom Plus plan.
Yeah, we have the Zoom Plus
we
plan.
Have
So
just fucking spiel.
we'll close up soon. But what I was trying to say was, it's funny how the American media put things into the Western world for us to believe, especially for like Ireland, because I feel like Ireland and a lot of these Eastern European countries are influenced so heavily by the United States. Like dress culture, music, everything you can think of, it's pushed down.
Yeah, I think like the US controls like Western pop culture, but then like you also have like niche pop culture as well, which is more applicable to like stuff like Reeling in the Years and like Garen Noonan and like like stuff that only Irish people will get. There's like that. There's a whole like subculture, but I feel like the US has like a grasp, but not a grasp. But I don't want to maybe like they're controlling the media. I'm not trying to say that like that, but it's just because they've such a huge population, and most of these like big companies are founded there or they've got massive investments there, because it is like like for a lot of the best films and TV series and best like media forms have come from there. So they definitely have their place. But there's also that great clip from a show, I think it's called The Newsroom, and Jeff Daniels is in it, and it's like you've probably seen it as well. It's like a journalist asks this guy why America is the best country in the world, and then he gives her like 10 reasons why America is absolutely not the best country in the world. Have you seen it?
Yeah,
clip I'm talking
about,
yeah.
Another clip you're on about, yeah.
It's a really good. I think it's a show that I kind of like. It's not on like the immediate to get to. It's like way down the line. I've got to get like to The Wire and Severance, and I've got a lot of other shows to get out of the way first. But it's one that I'll probably get down to. Well, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
We'll finish off on our conspiracy theories for this week. I do want people to send in, so if you did make it to the end of the podcast, please do send. We'll shout out to you, and we'll put out a question on our Instagram about wanting to hear your conspiracy theories.
We'll spend like 5-10 minutes on the next podcast just going through them and see how believable. We've obviously gone quite into these as well, so we don't want to.
I should just call the name of this podcast Tangents. Tangents on conspiracy theories.
Suspicions and conspiracy theories. Oh my god, I'm losing my speech.
So yeah, 11 episodes deep. Thanks again for all the support, guys. It's so nice having the premium now, so we don't have to worry about a time limit. We can just be happy speaking and waffling.
You wouldn't even know if we paused this episode to go and take a poop. You wouldn't even know. Did we? Maybe. Maybe. You'll never know.
At the end, just a large 1 minute, 30-minute second of us chewing.
That can be like the outro screen of us on YouTube. Just two of us just sitting on the toilet with our thumbs up, going like, subscribe, shit.
We'll wrap it up.
Right.
Thanks, guys, for listening this week, and sure, we'll see you all next week.
Yeah, submit your conspiracy theories. You can either get us on Instagram, you can get us on TikTok, or if you want to send us a longer kind of conspiracy theory, you can get us on email. It's the distancedilemmapod@gmail.com. The link for that is also in our Instagram bio as well. But yeah, as Imran said, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for listening. And this has been my name is Shaun. This has been Shaun and Imran. This has been the Distance Dilemma, episode 11. I don't know what's after happening in the last year. I need to go and eat something.
I agree with you there, brother.
I'm starting to fade away over here, folks. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will talk to you next week.